welcome to another edition of the Underrated Hero Podcast. I'm your host, Deshaw, The Lost Tapes. However you guys may know me, but I got a very special guest, a very special friend of mine. My guy, Warren, unknown boy Eli, as you guys may know him. Appreciate you for coming on, bro. Good to have you on, brother, and I appreciate you coming through. We had some difficulties throughout, so it took a lot just to get to this moment. So just appreciate you guys for tuning in. So Warren has been a long-time friend of mine. We grew up in Bridges together. So we met you about how many years ago? Say about
10th grade. So
about 7 years ago, 2016, right? Yeah, about 7 years ago. We always, stayed in touch, and my boy doing some big things, so that's why we're here right now doing this interview. So we're about to get into it. So, Warren, a lot of people might know you as this mysterious individual. We never know what we're gonna get from Warren. You have came and gone. Some moves that you have made, and we just always are waiting for the next move. But I want to know, how was it growing up for you? Because I know you do have a lot of siblings. You got a lot of people looking up to you. Big family. A lot of people play different roles. So I just want to know, how was it for you growing up?
How was it for me growing up? Pretty much. Well, I'm not going to make it a long story. I'm going to sum it up a little bit. Growing up, I was with a single mother household. My dad wasn't in the picture at the time as much when I was younger. He came, back when I got a little bit older. But anyway, single mother household, always working. I was with my grandma, my mom, all my siblings, and I was pretty much a lone wolf pretty much. Back growing up, class clown in school, bullied a little bit. Not too much. I'm a jokester. I like to have fun and stuff.
Right.
So I was just pretty much a lone wolf on my own. Always very nice to everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Always very respectful and grew up.
I know you mentioned your dad wasn't in the picture, but I've seen your dad on some occasions. So how did you guys mend that relationship?
We mended it fully. Well, he came back when I was in about 4th grade. Well, he was always there, but we started interacting more when I was about 4th grade, and going to his house every other weekend and stuff. And now I'm living with him, and that's going pretty well. Gotcha. We just had a father-son talk over this last year.
Okay.
Just
trying to mend the fences.
Yeah.
Do you feel like it shaped your development in any way negatively? Negatively?
Negatively? No, I don't think it did negatively. I think there was a lot of positive in everything, I went through and how everything happened, because I'm an observative person.
Right.
So I see the way things go on around me, and I'm like, okay, I want to move this way. I don't want to move this way. I'm learning from them. They don't got to teach me, but I'm just watching. Especially growing up, so I'm learning.
You feel like you learned from him not being there. What did it teach you?
It gave me a perspective. It gave me a different perspective on my life. Because I've seen everyone else around me growing up with their dads with them every day and playing around outside, spending dad time and all this stuff. So I felt like I was a left out child for a while. But I grew into getting to learn myself. It gave me time at a young age when I was elementary school, 1st, 2nd, 3rd grade. At that age, I was sitting there already self-meditating, reflecting on myself. Who am I? What can I why is this happening? Why am I going through this? And so I think that's why I kind of grew into the personality that I am. At a young age, I said, one day when I have kids, I'm going to be there no matter what. I'm going to be this type of man. I want these goals and dreams. So at a young age, I already knew what I wanted. Mm-hmm. The path I wanted to choose. I didn't know the path I was going to take, but I knew my goal and dream of what I wanted. And I'm not trying to branch off, but it taught me a lot. as far as it's a little difficult because I didn't have really that my dad figure his different experiences, his wisdom at that time a lot. So I kind of learned as I went, but I was always in church with my grandma. I was always around my grandparents and them, so I was around church. So I feel like that took a big part on me as far as being the nice, kind person I am. And just when I came to, I'm not trying to ramble on, but when it came to as far as me reflecting, I realized at a young age, there's other kids out there like me that's going through the same thing. So I kind of opened up more, figure out my identity, who I am. Just very nice to everyone. I learned, I kind of grew up at a young age.
Yeah.
Plus, like, my mom was always working, so I was living with my grandma. So all I do was, like, roam the neighborhood, play around all day. My grades in school were bad. Up to elementary school. When I got to middle school, it got better.
Right. So I know you said you grew up fast. What do you mean by you had to grow up fast?
I had a lot on my shoulder and plate at a young age, but I mean I grew up fast. Like, I had to take care of my siblings. This was elementary school, like 3rd, 4th grade. I'm sitting there taking care of my grandma, like, cause she was sick, growing up. She passed away now, but she was very sick and stuff. So me and my siblings, we would help them, help my grandma, and then, there was other stuff going on around the household, like my mom and stuff. And that was like uncontrollable for us. But me and my other siblings, we observed a lot growing up that children shouldn't really experience at that age, but it happens. I'm grateful for everything. So I'm not upset with what I went through. I'm actually glad because I like the person I am.
It made you the person you are today.
Yeah, still growing, but I like the person I'm shaping into.
Right. So last thing on your childhood, what would you say was the toughest part of growing up?
I guess because I knew my mom was working a lot. So when there would be events at school, like, parents would show up and stuff. I guess it was just having, like, a parent show up. So I was just there alone, pretty much, even at school. I had friends, but I didn't really have anyone. So it's just...
Gotcha. And then that leads me into, came up. We've heard just your brief story on coming up. We see the challenges you went through and the struggles. And it led you to be offered the opportunity to go to a tremendous program that most people do not have the opportunity to go to. Hand-picked, selected 25 people out of, like, the whole Greenville County. So how many students is that? 25 get selected a year out of, like, thousands, and you were one of them right along with me. It led you to that moment. So when you were broached that opportunity, how did you give me the initial feeling that you felt when it was like, man, like, I have an opportunity to, change my life per se and give me a different outlook?
At the time I wasn't like, it wasn't clicking too well because I was still young. And I am very strong in faith, so I was like, I'm blessed to be in this position. It's meant for me to be here. Like, I didn't take a moment for granted. I was just I didn't realize at the time because I was younger. The things that I learned, it didn't connect until now that I'm older. The different skills.
Right.
So I wasn't really thinking, I was just open-minded. I was like, I got selected. It didn't click too well, but now that I'm older, I'm like, I was really selected.
You did end up transitioning into college just like the rest of us. So how was the college journey for you?
College journey, it wasn't bad. I mean, I didn't really want to go to college, to be honest with you. I just kind of went. I didn't do bad in college. I'm very humble. I'm not going to brag or whatever, but I didn't do bad. But I knew it's not what I wanted to do.
Right.
Like, I don't want to give myself more credit than what I am, but I am confident, and I knew what I was learning was some BS. Why it didn't make sense to me of why I'm learning about stars, astronomy about stars, when I'm trying to go to get a business, like learn different skills like business and stuff. I understand English, but why am I learning about the stars?
Right.
Why am I learning about woman gender study? Why am I, it was a lot of questions. I already knew what I wanted to do, but I said, I've been growing up like bridges, everyone around me, college is the way to go, so I'm in it. I'm like, to me it was like, this is just dumb for me, like, it doesn't, and I made good grades. I still got like maybe a 3.2, 3.4 GPA. It didn't make sense. So the transition is, I switched around my major a lot. I was like a sports major, psychology, different one, like 3 or 4 different ones. And then I transferred, because I went to USC. I transferred from that school. I went to another school for nursing. So I was in nursing doing that, still making A's. Like, still making A's. But that's something that you have to be all into.
Correct.
So I want to do something that gave me a purpose.
Right. You are forgetting one thing.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Continue.
No, yeah, I'm just saying something that gave me a purpose, and it didn't connect. It's not what I wanted to do.
Right.
So that transition was, I was just learning about different things in life, just learning about myself too.
Right. What do you feel like you learned through that?
I learned as far as what?
Do you feel like college helped you in any way? Do you feel like you would have been this person without that experience?
I don't think I would have been this person without that experience, because I learned, it helped me learn about the people around me.
Got you.
This dream, like going to college, for one, I was never one to go party. I stayed in my room. So to learn about the other way people think, because I'm a very, like, I don't know if the word's optimistic, but I'm very observative. So I'm questioning, like, why are these people, they come here, they first get their first breath of freedom, they come in here, partying, they're drinking, but they're here to learn.
Cool.
But everyone says you're supposed to go get the college experience. It didn't make sense to me, like a lot of things didn't make sense. And I'm like, well, you just wasting time. Like, I don't, and I'm just acquiring debt for stuff that I don't need.
Yeah, it's a different experience for everyone.
Yeah.
But you are forgetting one thing to mention. You did start the Unknown Boy Eli YouTube page during that time, which was a very great time in our history books. My boy was really popping on YouTube. And I want you to just explain how was that journey for you, and what did you learn from that experience as well?
As far as YouTube, I started back when I was in like the senior year of high school. I'm a very creative person. Like, because I was writing poetry at once. I'm a very creative person. And I like it. I like to be on camera. I like that feel. I like, because I feel like with my personality, like that's just part of who I am. I like to, do that. So at that time it was something new, but I enjoyed it a lot. Every time I stood in front of the camera, I was still nervous. Like, but it never shone, because I would go into like,
that's me.
I'll go into like, hey, like, it's time to work. At that time I'm taking that as fun, but now that I'm getting older, it's work.
It's time to work. Right.
It was fun. I mean, I started up again.
Hey. So what can we expect now from Unknown Boy Eli? This new revamped version that took some time off.
This new revamped version, I'm more wise now. I'm more in tap with like myself. I grew my faith. So I'm looking to inspire more people.
Right.
Because that goes in part of like my gym journey and everything else. So I'm looking to more inspire people. My Unknown Boy Eli page is more content, fun, But my other page is more serious, like, and those videos can't mark a date when they're gonna drop. But that's more serious, like, let's have a discussion about this, let's talk about this. These different topics, my opinions. So I just expect more like professionalism, more real, like more, me.
Okay, you did go through a brief period of where you detached, from society, and you were figuring out some things on your own. You were going through things just like everyone else. I want you to explain to the audience what are some things that you did to overcome that period in your life where there was uncertainty, where you weren't hitting the gym, where it was just like things were just in the front. How can we come out of that?
Okay, so during that period, I was in college still, as I was saying. I believe it was my sophomore year, and during that period, I can't remember the date, but I lost my great grandma, and then a couple months later, I lost my grandma that I grew up taking care of and stuff. So I lost both of them on top of like the stuff with college and school. And then as far, I didn't know my health was affecting me because I was feeling like crap. Because, I don't know how to explain it, but I wasn't healthy. I was always been an athlete. So I wasn't healthy. I was gaining weight, putting on weight. So I think that took a toll when I lost both of them. With school, that stuff going on. So it took me, and then actually, I'm not trying to talk around long, but months after that, maybe 4 or 5 months after that, my mom's lost my mom's boyfriend, on my birthday, and that's when I was about to start up nursing school. So after losing them on my birthday, that happened. So I think it's a lot of like mental toughness. I had to do what I had to do. Like I didn't have time to sit there. I don't know how to explain it. I'm trying to go into detail. Yeah.
Did you ever take a moment to sit and process it though?
I did, but I couldn't stop what I was doing because I was already deep into what I was doing. So I had to keep going. And I say months after that, that's when I branched off. I just isolated myself. I was like, you know what, this ain't what I want. I'm gonna change my life. Went through a little, not bad phase, but a little phase where I was just like partying stuff because I never partied in college, so I moved back to Greenville and stuff. And then when I was like, you know what, this ain't what I want. That self-reflected what I was saying. This ain't what I want. Now I'm gonna get in the gym. I'm gonna get myself back up right. And that's how I've been ever since. Been good. Praying every day.
Amen. So now we have this person that you are today. This new revamped version of Warren. So you've been getting into modeling. You've been moving around. I don't know if I can say your next moves, but if you know. But my boy is modeling, gaining some traction in some different areas. So I just want to know, what was the step into modeling? What was that spark that was like, okay, I can do this?
That spark was, I was going to do it actually when I was around 16. I was going to do it when I was actually around like 16 years old because my grandma was trying to push me into it and other people. But I can say that spark happened once I got back right in the gym. Like, I was like, okay, like, hold on now. I'm feeling pretty good about myself. And, I'm grateful to have the girlfriend that I do have now because she's in the industry. And it was a big encouragement. And of course she helped me along the way and with her connections and different people, and so that was, I just felt like, I can do it. I was, and I have. So I don't really, I'm just
You ain't deep down into this poetry, bro. Can we expect some poetry?
Yeah, a little bit.
You still do it?
I'm about to start up again.
Okay.
Had that conversation last night.
Really? Okay.
You ever read it?
Huh?
You ever read it?
No. You never sent me your poetry. Never. I think maybe one time I did, but I just don't remember it. You just like read it to me. So you never like. I think that's something that you just like kept that as a hidden gem from people. But my boy can write. So what's next, Mr. Warren Collins? What can we expect?
You want the cocky answer, or you want the
Oh, give me the cocky. Give me the cocky. I'm him. That's what I want.
You're gonna be expecting me popping up more on your phone screens, tapping in with me. Nah, I'm just kidding, but I do have some things coming up. Some things I'll speak to. I don't wanna. I'm very humble, but I've been working with some things. I have some contracts that's in discussion right now with some brands and stuff. I have a career path that I keep on the low for right now.
Right.
But things will be brought to light eventually.
Next year? Well, possibly. This will probably be out in 2024, so I might as well just say this year.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah.
Okay. How's the love life been?
Love life is going good, going great.
Okay. Any advice for people dating somebody that's in that realm, in that industry?
For dating? I say Christian woman. Get a good Christian woman, like having a Christian relationship, like a relationship that's built over faith. And that's what I love about my girlfriend, because I was always been religious. She has too, right. But she's been pushing me. We're gonna get in church. I think the first week me and her ever started like talking for real, she was like, come to church with me. So I said, okay, I'll come to church. Ever since we've been going, and every now and then, may slack a little bit, but she picks me up. She's like picks me up that other half, like
right.
On what I need to be doing. I'm trying to figure out what it is, because I said it the other day. Her strengths are my weaknesses, and my weaknesses are her strengths. Ooh. So we complement each other.
Mm-hmm. That's perfect. I like that. So, ain't nobody ever broke it down like that to me. I like that. And so, thank you for explaining that. For my people that are in a relationship out there, because I can't give too much game on that, but we coming soon with that. Stay tuned. But also my boy, if there was a brand to hit you up, who is your dream brand that you would hop on right in this moment? Who is your dream brand that if they were to hit you up today, you're gonna take off? I'm signing that deal regardless. Well, I don't use that term loosely.
I don't really have a dream brand per se.
Okay.
The funny thing about it is these smaller brands actually are pretty good to work with too now. Like they're underlooked.
Right.
These small brands they pay good too now.
Because you start off with them, they're gonna love you forever. They're gonna cherish you forever. Because you started at them when they were at their lows. Yeah. So hey. So take note.
Yeah, it's connection and building a bond. And in this industry, you probably know too, like there's not loyalty, there's not really much of that when you're at the top. Like you could be doing a project one moment and then you cut the next. Yeah. Or you may get flaked on a lot. But if you build a relationship with someone, more times than not, they'll work with you and that's just how it is. You probably know a little bit more too. Yeah. And you find other connections, like, because they know connections, and their connection, like, okay, I know this guy, like, he's good, So it's just a lot of.
You can't explain it.
But I can give a shout out to the photographers, because I've done some stuff with a lot of brands already. Okay. But photographers like Brandon, Hillway Photography. at the Creative Carolina, these Carolina, like the meetups. My friend Caleb, photographer. Adam Black. Giliana. I'm trying to think of everyone that took pictures. Josh. There's a lot of different photographers, but if I miss something, sorry. But,
you work with a lot. But to close out this interview, I like for my people to give any advice that they want to my viewers, and also anything else that I may have not asked or anything you want to bring to anyone's attention. So the floor is yours.
Let me ask you, where do you see this podcast going? Like your vision?
To the moon. To the moon.
Stay tuned.
Yeah, I see it to the moon. I have no words for this podcast. We bringing some new things, as you guys can see. Bringing my cousin along. We building a team. Shout out my boy Sel, and shout out my boy. His name is Jeremiah, but we call him Raptor. So I want to shout the boys out because they will be joining the team soon. So we got some new things cooking, man.
I just have to say, if anyone needs advice or anything, or you need someone to talk to, be free to hit me up. Be free to hit the shop up. Be free to hit this team up.
Yes,
that's all
sir.
I got. It's a pleasure to be.
Pleasure to have you, bro. I love you, man. Can't wait to see what you do next.
Love you too, man.
Yeah.